on my news. And I'm only going to spend a bunch of money on news, and I'm going to
What you gonna say?
My
The
favorite
piece of DNA.
is
Acid rain. You're in the rain. What do you want to say? It's a piece of DNA. Vaseline, that's a double thing. I just died of this boat of two.
You better not. Don't come. I won't come. You don't have a noise control. I don't have SMG. Okay, I'm gonna come. I want inside one. Okay. Everything down. So let me see your mistake. Okay. It's on the go. Exactly 5. I'm gonna fuck you. I want that. Exactly 4. And exactly 4.
Oh.
Factory 3. Excuse me. Miss. What? My tour. Hello. This is my hydraulic press satisfying Sunday with noobs. And why did it crushing? You want to see it and crush? Yes. Hey, how did that happen? Oh, now you killed? No. SQE! Julia, I'm toggling the press. It's going down. Move!
Goes by you. All the goes to you. What am I supposed to do? Get away, I've never had it anyway. Get away and everything will be okay.
SUE going. And SUE. What? Go back to Frozen Land.
You were Cyrus born.
Let me read
What a perfect form. Walk on forever one. You're there, you're there, you're there.
It's exhibition.
You're there, you're
Yes, it's so
there, you're there.
satisfying.
Way up on the mountain where she died. All I ever wanted was your life.
Don't SUE because mine are
Even
standing
if the canyon I can't hide.
You have to have spaces in between.
All I ever wanted was your life.
Why are they dying already?
Oh, the remorse and come on to your seahorse and the tide is right on course.
I want like
This is
$100.
the way I don't want it to be with you. This is the way I would that it would be with you. Ole, 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 way up on the house where she died. All I ever wanted was your life. Deep in the eye of the canyon, I can't try. All I ever wanted was your life.
Don't come to my factory. I won't SUE you. you did to me. I'm waiting for my new suit.
Boast by you, and closer than most to you. And what am I supposed to do? Get away, I've never had it anyway. Get away, and everything will be okay.
I'm letting you just go falling very slowly.
We're on the mountain where she died. Well, I ever wanted was your life. Well, beside the canyon, I can't hide. All I ever wanted was your life.
It's almost down. It's gonna drop. I see it's dropping. I'm so satisfied. I'm so happy. It's so satisfying. Now I will take you off. Please. And now down. Put up your leg. Yeah. These ones, when they're ice, they're so easy. I'm about to get like $1,000 to get my next room. Wow, legs. Darn you.
An ocean on the bedroom. It's real. They do want to resume. Hell, you know it all for sure. It's all the debate, babe. I say it was on the deep. Hell, I know. Oh, yeah. Tell me when you wanna go.
No, boycott. Yes, 3K and yeah. I'm about to get 1K. I'm at the last.
AC guy already left. It took him like 20 minutes. Girls!
Yeah.
How long was the AC guy here?
20 minutes.
How many Paw Patrols do you think?
5. 5 Paw Patrols. You know when Grandma used to tell us, okay, it will take 5 Paw Patrols to
It's like $300.
I have to go to 1K for Baxi. 1K for Taylor. 1K for John Doe.
Marsha signed up for the maintenance package, which was $180, and then cleaning the drain line and whatever else costs the extra amount. But whatever, I didn't pay it. I'm happy about it. Not rough for me.
This is starting to get boring. I have to leave.
He cleaned
Wait a minute.
the evap and the condenser, like the outside thing, and with nitrogen. He just came in, it looked like a propane tank coming in with a fucking tank.
I'm so bored of this.
And I'm just here. I guess that's all I needed, but better to have somebody do it than me, because I'll fuck it up. I know I'll fuck it up. I'm well aware. I'm stupid as hell.
So Abigail, how are you doing? My favorite one's probably the chocolate right though. Sounds boring. Let me check on my Kathy. Why aren't they going up? Yo, I mean, Abigail, my inspiration, you. How doing last place? With Charlie. Okay. I'm freezing my nose. And then wait, can I freeze some right here? Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna freeze my nose and this one, and then I'm gonna bring them to the trampoline area, and then they're gonna jump. I finally know what I'm supposed to do in this one. Before they fall, I have to freeze them quick. And then that's how I kill them.
5 controllers, I don't know. Probably brought him drunk. I have no idea.
Okay, time to go in.
Good question, but I don't have the answer.
This dude was wanted to be at my house. This dude broke into my house and it started jumping around. More news. Albert, don't come to my. We have a new place. Oh, I got the slappies. The slap mine uses the shape. I told you. You stole that from Draco. How much do they cost? They cost $1. $1? I can pay for that. But that's all my money there. Whoa! What? I got yeeted off the map. I literally went inside it and I got yeeted off the map. Let's just do that. I'm going to have fun over here. Abigail, these are just supposed to be for noobs, but they can also be for humans. Mom can use this and then she can become skinny. Mom's always skinny. Okay. Abigail, don't come to my place. I'm coming to your place. Well, you can come if you want to, but it's... Schools of nice.
Whoa. Oh, yeah. Whoa. Away on my summer, more than ever. Perfect weather, down the place together. Away on my summer, we'll live forever.
You powered up with the copecast. Looking cool, Joker. Let's go. Words aren't getting through. Damn it.
Girls, you like a cat? Cat in this game. No. They don't like it.
Somewhere. I can feel it. I can feel it.
Powerful enemies. It's not wise to fight head up. You can aim for their weak spot. Looking cool, Joker.
Okay.
That was so easy, I'm yawning. You can hit their weakness. You powered up for the baton pass.
Eat this!
That was incredible.
I can feel it.
Oh, I don't know where the fuck to go.
Whoa! Super jump! That's cool. Super jump! They go, I need. Woo! Super jump! Super jump! No, I like it. Why would I play something on you? I'm inside school. Abigail, look how super jump I am. Abby, I can do a super jump all the way out. That's so cool. Super jump! What? Navigate! Navigate! I can't jump back up. Oh, I'm focusing on the wall, man. Yes, I have to reset. I'll come back on.
I have something.
Julius, back up.
Somewhere.
How are you visiting me though? Now all you want to do is this. It's so much fun. Really? Woo! That was fun. Yeah! Whee! Super jump! Look at that. Right? Oh! Oh my super jump. Here.
I have something. Focus.
Woo! Look! You saw the other things in the ball. Abigail, you think you wanted to send out the ball? Ready? I got a good too. Oh, this good was supposed to be Wait, I'm ready. isn't an option. Still can't believe. Ha! I want to finish it.
Let's go, Captain!
I don't mind fighting it. Here's your chance. You can hit their weakness. Two enemies knocked down. Where that came from? All right. The baton has been destroyed. Joker's inspiring. Just leave it before. Two foes left. Let's do this. Looks like hitting its weak point. Shock.
I shall be your voice.
Kids are sharp. They can't move.
Hey, what the fuck?
That was incredible, Skull.
Okay.
Shadow defeated. Let's go, Joe. Why aren't you dead yet? Shadow fire fell out of my neck.
Show me your true form.
You can hit the weakness. You powered up from the baton pass. Gunshot should hit its weakness. Even again, Panther! This is a holdup! Let's finish this! Finish him! The beautiful rose has thorns.
Okay.
Well, that's that. Now let's.
I'll reveal your true form.
That's real bizarre. You haven't hit their weak point? So scary how good I am. Looks like hitting a trick isn't an option.
This one.
Victory!
All right. I'll reveal your true form. Let's go. Let's go, cat!
Give me more! Pass the baton and follow us! Our chance. You can hit your weakness! Oh, look down!
Just stay there.
Wonderful, Joker!
All right.
A stylish victory. Well, I don't got the
Focus.
Look at me, I'm sorry. I'm trying to catch you. Just don't act like you're gonna
See it. Somewhere.
get I don't need to get Why?
Oh.
Because what? Oh, because you're outside of my No, I'm just going to play too.
somewhere.
God damn it!
See it. Focus. Somewhere. I have something. I can feel it.
I have no idea where the fuck I'm going.
Focus.
I prefer the disc copy because I got enough games. Why don't you FaceTime Grandma
Okay.
and thank her for fixing the AC? That way y'all not hot. Cause y'all complain all the damn time about being hot.
Smile Direct Club. These are Smile Club aligners. They're laser cut for comfort to gently straighten teeth under a doctor's direction. They can turn a smile like this into a smile like this.
Well, I was down. Reason of everything that blew through. There's 7, 8, 6 or 7 trees. You ain't a big ass side where I was down. I saw everything that blew through. History so strong. History so strong. History so strong. History so strong. Thinking about the G talk, the dirty talk will do. Making another bacon bone, baby, engine new. It's the distant dawn. This the distant dawn. I put my cards up on the table. I do the speakers 'cause I'm able. On Pix's broken no devotion. I threw my pistol in the ocean. Was allied with revelation. Chime at the police station. And when the verdict comes round, I'm sure that you will go down. All night we save the population. 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 It's in its pawn. Sell it to the lexicon. Pistol landed hard. The bars are drawn. The little delta popper damn the shrew. Make another awful sound to wrap the gothic through. History so strong. History so strong. I put my cards up on the table. I do the speakers 'cause I'm able. 1, throwing pixies of broken down devotion. I threw my pistol in the ocean.
Is that how you say it?
With revelation, I'm at the police station. And when the verdict comes round, I'm sure that you will go down.
Yeah. All right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. How you doing? I look weird today. I do. Don't I look like really, really washed out? Welcome to the Level 1 podcast. I don't know why I look so washed out today. Maybe it's because it's so bright and sunny outside, even with my blinds down.
Because you're a fucking pale
The
ghoul.
sun is washing me out, so I'm going to turn on white balance.
You're a ghoul.
Now I kind of look normal.
No, you
I
don't.
white balance is just on today. Maybe today it'll actually serve me well. Usually it doesn't. Usually turns me pink. But it looks like today it's actually turning me a normal color. All right, how y'all doing today? Welcome. Today is Monday, the 25th of July, 2022. I'm Darkside Phil, and I welcome you all here to the show. Hope you're all doing well as we start a new week, right? A new exciting week. For me, this is actually halfway through my streaming week because the first half was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now we're in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That is right. I'm here for 6 days this week, and then Thursday is my day off from streaming. And we're doing fun stuff. New releases are done with. So we're jumping back into the regular schedule of stuff that I was working on for a while to continue on with it. Okay, and I'm excited this week. Will actually be an exciting week with a special event this coming Saturday, which we're actually going to talk about in a moment. Because actually my wife and I were talking about this a little bit. Came to a determination overnight about one of the things we'll be doing during the event. So we'll talk about that in a second. We got a lot of gaming news to talk about this morning, although not particularly one story that I think has too much discussion around it, but we got like 3 or 4 rapid fire game stories to talk about.
You're not going to address champions
on the show today. And if we have some time, we'll do some Q&A at the end. I also have a little bit of a follow-up in regards to my whole desire to upgrade my PC setup and things like that. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. Okay, we do. We got a lot to discuss here on the Level 1 podcast. So, yeah, let's start, shall we? First of all, quick summary of everything that's happened so far this week. You know, I wrapped up 2 new playthroughs, As Dusk Falls as well as Stray. Enjoyed both games. Stray, in my opinion, Game of the Year contender. I gave my full opinion on those 2 games yesterday on the Level 1 podcast. So if you missed out on yesterday's episode, you should go check it out. There's a giant segment about both of those games on there. Okay. And now we're getting back into the swing of things, of getting things back into the regular rotation. Yesterday we resumed with Fable Anniversary and got back on track with that playthrough. People were basically saying I'm about 2/3 into the story now. So probably a few more streams and I'll be able to wrap that one up. And now with Final Fantasy VII, I'm very glad we're getting back into this being into the regular schedule because this playthrough is one that I very much enjoyed over the last several weeks. Had a great time experiencing this game in the modern era with you guys. You know, it's been 20 years since I played Final Fantasy VII. You know, and I have a lot of memories and maybe a lot of misconceptions stuck in my head about it because it's been so long since I played it. And now that we're playing it again, I'm actually finding myself really enjoying it, albeit the plot is a little confusing, but you'll see as we get further into the game what I mean by that. So I'm excited for today. Today we got a major development in the game, and I'm very happy to put this back into the rotation. Remember what I told you guys. As long as people show up, engage, and support the Final Fantasy VII playthrough, I'm totally okay with keeping this as a main gameplay stream for the whole playthrough. So far it has been. So far I think we've done like 5 or maybe even 6 streams of the game. Where it's been a major main playthrough, and I really enjoyed that, and I want to keep it going. So I hope that people will come back today. It is a little bit of a concern when I haven't played it for like a week. Will people come back?
Oh my God, no one cares!
What's the deal with that? I hope you will. I hope you will come back and chill with me and enjoy the game just like they have all along.
You better take a sip, you fat faggot!
An interesting couple of months here where there really has been next to no new releases, and the few that have come out, like The Quarry, have been kind of disappointed and underwhelming. So, you know, I'm balancing this old retro stuff with the newer stuff, and when the old retro stuff has to go on hold for me to play the newer stuff, it does concern me a little bit. But for the most part, you guys have been awesome. I really appreciate that. Last couple of nights, I checked out the Multiverses beta.
Oh,
a
yeah.
new game that plays like Smash Brothers. It features the cast of characters from
It
Warner
features
Brothers,
Iron Giant,
DC
if you're
Comics,
Phil
the
Paul
Scooby-Doo
Burnell.
cartoons,
It's exactly who it
Universe,
features.
Adventure Time, Looney Tunes, and more. You know, I think Game of Thrones is in there. There's an original character, and there's talk about that they will add all kinds of characters in the future. In fact, one of the characters they're adding is LeBron James, and they're also going to add Rick and Morty. So, you know, a lot of interesting stuff there. I really enjoyed.
That's not
that
interesting in the slightest
The
bit.
thing about the game is that it is free to play, even when it comes out fully. Right now, it's beta. When it comes out fully, it will still be free to play. It's not going to be anything you have to pay for. However, you have to unlock the characters, and it starts with 5 characters, and then you have to basically grind to get in-game currency to unlock more characters. I actually got the Iron Giant unlocked last night. Played with him a bit, and I actually really like him.
That's all you played with was Iron Giant.
Maybe, you know, another session.
This thing you're lying.
So we'll see. But anyway, I really like it. Admittedly, I'm not great at it or anything, right? Obviously, I'm pretty bad at the game because I don't really play Smash. I'm just learning, but I'm having a good time with it. And I want to say thanks to those who have actually shown up and supported. However, I'm going to be honest with everyone.
I like seeing
the people who are showing up.
The thread, what people
essentially,
type in to get
quiet,
lamb.
which is weird. And I don't know if it's trolls because I'm playing an online.
I regret not having
anything. I'm
chat,
not sure. But for those that show up, half of them are like, "Oh, this is boring."
So much work.
Wow,
so
really? An online competitive
is
game?
what it is.
That's a game that's not really in my comfort zone.
Other people's work.
And I'm actually having fun, you know, playing it. Oh, it's boring. It's repetitive. There's nothing to it. I don't like it. I'd rather see you play regular Smash, which is funny because I played regular Smash and people didn't like that either. You know, I don't know if it's just that because I regularly play this style of game. I don't have the established audience
You
for
should
it.
make that a sock. Lean in Marlon
That I played
Band.
the game. Basically,
Say it all one
support
word.
was non-existent until like the last 20 minutes, and then someone would come in and kind of do like a Hail Mary tip or something, which is appreciated, but it's certainly not expected, nor is it anything that gives me a lot of confidence that if I were to play a game like this, you know, in any kind of longevity, that people would support it. And it does make me kind of a little disheartened because I like doing variety. Certainly playing a game like
maybe
this
make it read in.
Injection of variety.
Chiefs can't say
not something that I
L.
normally do.
Like
And I was
Lululemon.
hoping that people would actually come out
Lululemon.
and say, hey, this is something new and interesting and different. And by the way, it's not like every match I'm getting dominated. I won a bunch of matches, you know? So it's not like, oh, Phil sucks ass at this game. What's the point of watching him? It's kind of the opposite. It's interesting because I'm actually doing decently as I play.
Yeah, Mario
Night,
Man.
both nights that I played, I learned a lot. I mean, each character that I'm playing and their builds and things like that. So I don't get it really. I mean,
Reading Mario Man.
I don't know if it's just because people are used to seeing me play single-player narrative games. I don't know if it's because usually when you see me play fighting games, it's traditional 1v1, 2D style fighting game. I don't know. I'd like feedback. Would you guys like to see me play more? Because there's potential I can play more Multiverses later this week. In fact, Multiverses goes open beta tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow. And yeah, I'm excited to see if more people will join on. If maybe there'll be more people to play, so the connections will be a bit better. I'm not sure. I would love to play it again, but I mean, it's not just about me liking what I'm doing. It's about you guys showing up, engaging, supporting, and it hasn't happened. This last 2 streams, honestly, I didn't see that. It was more like there was a small group of people who liked it. A bunch of people sat on the stream complaining they hated it, and the support was almost non-existent until the last minute both streams. That's not a good formula, okay? So I'm curious what will happen if I play it again, all right? Yes, he spanned off, and this is what I'm going to read what he says. I'm going to address it. He says, you last played Smash Ultimate in 2018, 4 years ago. That's correct, because it's an old game. I think it's been long enough. It's not crazy for people to ask for the return of Smash while you're playing an inferior version. You have zero concept of competitive fighting games. You do.
Zero concept.
All right?
Zero concept.
When a competitive fighting game the first few weeks to months are the most exciting.
Zero.
The reasons are the
Zero
most exciting.
concept.
Everyone's starting on square one. Not everyone knows how to play the games, okay? And it's interesting to see people try to jump in, especially if a game like this that's free to play. Everyone's messing around, flubbing around, trying to learn strategies. No one really knows what they're doing. So it's the most fun because everyone's on an equal playing field, okay? After about a month has passed in any competitive fighter, usually what's happened is because everyone is streaming, because everyone is uploading videos, the meta for the game has been discovered, at least in the early days. Meaning, if you're a character that has an overpowered attack, or a character that's easier to play than the others, but still does relatively well in a competitive advantage, okay? Essentially what happens is people figure this out, and that's what becomes early on and dominant, okay? So if you're a newcomer and you're playing in the first month, you're having a ton of fun, you better jump on the trend. You better know what people are using that's overpowered and right away are using as a dominant skill. And if you don't, after a month, you have no chance. You either know how to, you need to use how to use it yourself, like you need to learn how to utilize that strategy yourself to win, or you need to find a way to counter that strategy. If you don't have any knowledge of that strategy or how to counter it, you might as well not play the game. You will get destroyed every match.
You don't like playing games!
I thought this game was fun, but now it seems like it's completely
That's why you talk for an hour and a
I
half.
said you might as well never play.
Every goddamn day.
Now, that's only within the first month.
You
Now
talk
you're
more
talking
than
6
Julia
months
talks.
down the line, a year down the line, 2 years
Julia.
down the line, 4
Can
years
you talk
after
as
the
much
release
as
of
he
Smash
does?
Ultimate. Smash Ultimate,
Not
or
sure.
any fighting game for that matter,
Talks too much.
has now been played in entire tournament scenes. There's been a circuit of tournaments. There's been high-level play discovered. There's been so many DLC characters released. If you do not play a competitive fighting game all along during all that time period to understand how the game's gameplay is evolving, what are the top-level strategies, how do you counter them, how do you utilize them yourself, how does this new character coming in get implemented into the game, how does it change the overall balance of the game? If you're not playing a competitive fighter like that all along,
Girls!
and then you try to jump in years later,
Call him a
you
liar!
never have played that. Now, there's some exceptions to that rule, but any game that's being actively, competitively played, there's literally no point unless you're just gonna fuck around, not care. People don't tune in to my streams to watch me play multiplayer games and fuck around and not care. They want to see me get better. They want to see me win or lose, but they want to see that effort. You don't watch me just play today I'm just gonna play Valorant.
Yeah.
But why? Phil, you've never played the game before. You don't know anything about it.
Talk too
Fuck
much.
it. Let's do a one-off stream of Valorant.
You remind me
I
of
play
your
for 2
mom.
hours. I lose miserably. I don't know what I'm doing. I never play it again. That's not what people tune in for. They tune into me because they want to see me do my take on a game, actively try to get good at that game, and try to persevere. That's kind of part of the journey that people tune in when I play a game. I have a competitive attitude when it comes to online multiplayer. You guys see when I get upset when there's lag or whatever, or there's a cheap strategy that I don't know how to beat, I get upset because I have that competitive attitude from being a competitive Street Fighter for 20 years of my life, you see? So that's what people are here for, all right? You say, Expand Dog says, oh, just people want to see you play Smash. No, they don't. If I played Smash right now...
Go! Bad thing!
Smash. Here's what would happen. I boot up the game. Oh, here's a character I've never seen before. Okay, I got the game dominated. All right, let me try again. Oh, look, what's this? Someone who's been playing for 4 years. So it'll be 2 hours of me literally never doing anything, just getting my ass handed to me. And by the way, the game lagging and me complaining about it, and not do like, what's the point? Seriously, like, what would the point be? And the answer is there's none. There's 0 point to that. It wouldn't be entertaining. No one would like it. You say that now, but you say that because you want an excuse for why people don't like multiverses. The excuse is not people want to see me play Smash. That's the most ludicrous thing I've ever heard. Anyone who understands a competitive fighter would know there's no point in jumping into a competitive fighter 4 years late, all right? Unless you're going to sit down and say, okay, I'm 4 years late. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to dedicate myself to playing this game regularly. I'm going to play Smash 3 times a week, multiple sessions, multiple hours. I'm going to pick 2 characters I really want to learn. I'm going to try to learn their builds. I'm going to try to learn the meta of the game and try to expose myself to all this stuff. If you're going to dedicate an insane amount of time to it, that's different. You guys know I'm a variety streamer, right? So there's no point. I'm not going to be playing Smash 10 to 20 hours a week to get good at it and be able to do anything in it, you see? So when you say, oh, go play Smash, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. It really is. I mean, and I understand you probably don't understand competitive fighting games. That's okay. But understand that from my perspective,
It doesn't sound okay.
I might as well.
It sounds like you calling a fucking retard.
Like,
You fat fucking faggot.
Play a fighting game, I need to get in at the ground level. Multiverses is a game you need to get in at the ground level because the game is just releasing. Everyone is learning. Everyone's dabbling in different character strategies and the like. That's the game I can play. Not a game that's 4 years old and has a competitive community based around it, and I will just be destroyed constantly, and I don't have the time to dedicate to learning.
Don't have the time to do it.
There you have it.
You have
right?
more time than I
If you
have.
guys like multiverses or you want to see me try something new, let me know. There's even potential that I'm going to be playing it again on Wednesday night. What I'm going to do is a poll. We'll talk about that in a moment to determine what I'm playing on Wednesday. And if you guys want it, I might play. Okay? Okay, but
I think it literally has
I need
more
support,
time.
I need engagement.
than I
I need to
have.
show up, you know? And I'll be honest, it was kind of a little
He
concerning
doesn't have
the last
time to
couple
learn
of,
Smash Brothers though.
The last couple
Or he doesn't
of
want to
days,
learn
I agree.
Smash Brothers. Makes you really makes
I
you
liked
think
it. I enjoyed it.
what
but
the truth would be.
basically, the audience wasn't necessarily.
I think he's lying about the time.
Okay.
Yeah, I learned Smash Brothers
So,
when I was like fucking 7 or 8.
All that being said,
On the 64.
now let's talk about what I'm actually doing.
Learning how to jump was the hardest part.
Today,
Get it.
as I already said, the
Hit
return
the
of Final Fantasy VII, which I'm very
Upward
excited
arrow
about.
of the
What
C
happens
stick,
in the
the yellow
temple
arrow.
Hotline. This is a very exciting part of the game where essentially there will be a major plot developments that will push us into other parts of the game. We've basically been in this part of the game where it's open world and exploring for a little bit, but now we're going to get into another part of the game, after this. So, excited to see how it goes today. Again, for those who are showing up and engaging and supporting the program, thank you so much.
Smash Bros.
I'm really
Strategy. There's a lot of like Mario Kart
This is
strategy.
actually my favorite
It don't
one.
really matter.
Did I think that would be the case? No.
RNG, you get a good item or a good hit,
Okay.
whatever.
Later tonight,
That's why Diddy Kong Racing
on the
is
late
fun.
stream, okay, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, we're going to do something random and different as a one-off silly stream, okay? In the 1990s, it was a very unique time. Arcades were booming, and Street Fighter II became this huge craze where people were lining up in arcades waiting a long time with their quarters up to play this game competitively. It was a unique time for sure.
Unique.
One of the formative years of gaming in general.
Unique.
At this time, Street Fighter was so
This time.
popular that everyone wanted to capitalize on that and make a knockoff. All right? Some would argue that there were entire franchises, like the King of Fighters, and
Copecast.
Combat,
Oh.
that actually were kind of spin-offs or knockoffs of
Well.
Street Fighter. But there was one game
Tell him
that
to sue me
Capcom,
for
makers of Street Fighter,
fucking
actually
trademark.
was so egregious in its lifting of assets and basically making their own game that was a ripoff, they sued the makers of the game. They lost, but they did sue because they felt that they had a case. The name of the game is Fighter's History. Much like Street Fighter, there are characters in this game from all different countries around the world that are supposed to represent those cultures. They are
I
incredibly
changed the
stereotypical.
name.
They have
you
some
know,
of the most ludicrously
what-
stupid fighting styles. I've ever
Sometimes
seen.
it's
They
just
say
nigger,
the
nigger,
dumbest
nigger,
shit
nigger,
when they do
nigger,
their
nigger,
special
nigger,
moves.
nigger, nigger,
In
nigger.
general, the game
And I
is
get
not a
straight
competitive game.
Or
It's just.
whatever. He
I think
fucking
they've been
bitched
trying to make a
about
competitive
day
game. They just didn't
prior.
have the know-how to do it.
Or whatever my
And the
drunk
game is really,
ass
really silly
fucking
bad.
come
Like
up with.
I say, sometimes you watch a movie
I'm
because
not
it's so bad
building a
it's good.
brain.
Sometimes a game is so bad it's good. Sometimes a movie is so bad it's good. That's the perfect case in this. The game is so bad it's entertaining to watch because you're like, oh my god, I can't believe this game exists. So this game just released on Switch Online as a Super Nintendo version. Okay, I'd like to do a one-off silly stream of this game tonight on the late stream, just to have some fun with you guys, just for variety's sake. Toss something in there. I'm not saying that we're ever going to play it ever again. It's just a one-time thing to check out and see if you guys get a laugh. Like I know I haven't played this game in so long, I can't wait to see the characters. I can't even remember who they are, but I know it's going to be hilarious.
Touch your face. I know I have to rub my eyebrow.
Jasper's excited.
Usually when I'm telling the
There we
truth.
go. Okay, so that's tonight's late stream. Now tomorrow we're doing something completely different, and I actually need your feedback on
Poop
this.
on his
So
head.
listen up, everyone. I need your help on this one.
Poop on.
Tomorrow we are starting Batman Arkham Asylum Remastered. Okay? This is the game that the members nominated and voted for as part of the Viewer's Choice experience over this summer of downtime. Now, I don't know how to play it. And what I mean by that is I'm pretty sure there's two versions of the game. There's the PlayStation 4 version, and then there's the Xbox version. Now, PS4 version I own. That's what I was actually playing years ago during the late summer of 2020. And I was actually trying to get my bottle cap. I was actually playing it, and that's when we all got the ability to get our PS5s when the reserve
No
code
nuts,
dropped
Jasper.
and all that. Which
Feels bad.
Jasper came
Feels bad.
to the audience.
Declawed, neutered. You ain't even a cat.
It's kitty butthole.
You just a
And,
fucking live
so,
puppet.
I own that version.
Nigga got
The
no
PS4
fucking
version,
claws,
I've been told
no
that
balls.
the PS4 version
Can't
doesn't
go
play
outside.
very well on PS5.
Might as well
I don't
put it
know
in a
if that's possible.
goddamn
You think
pillowcase
console
and kill the fucker.
That has,
Or eat his ass. One way or the other.
Oh, stop that. Ah. There we go. Okay.
I didn't
I
have
don't
his
know
ass
how I'm
too.
playing on the better
If I'm
console,
Jasper
which
and he
most
cut
games
my
that are
balls
PS4
and
games
took
on
my
PS5
fucking
seem
fingers,
running smoother and better.
I'd have that
So
nigga
I
too.
don't
I'd
know why this
give
particular
his
game
best
is not
every
running
damn
as
day.
well on PS5. But that's what someone has told me. Now, there's also an Xbox version of the game, okay? But I don't know if that's free. Someone said I think that's $8 or $9, which I'm okay with, but only if we're guaranteed that it's going to run better. Why should I rebuy this game on Xbox unless there's a guarantee that it's going to run better on the Xbox Series X?
Trigger
So
be
I
outside
need
fucking.
your feedback,
Trigger is a
okay?
pimp.
I need to know.
Like, think OIC. Trigger a
I
pimp.
need
He's
to
out
know.
there fucking
Like,
banging. He's bringing bitches home.
I need to know
Giving them food
what
from
you
the big ass bag I
I should
have.
do.
And then he's
Should I play
banging
it
them
on
out.
PlayStation, or should I play
And they
it on
sleep
Xbox?
over the house with them.
And is there a reason
Trigger
why?
a
Is there
pimp.
actual
Trigger's the alpha to
evidence that it runs better on one or the other? If it doesn't, if there's no evidence that it runs better on one or the other, I'm just going to play it on PlayStation. I'm going to download it overnight on my PS5, and we're just going to play it on there. Okay? But like I said, I don't want to rebuy it unless there's some evidence that it will run better on Xbox. Kagome says, I just played it on PS5 and it works fine for me. There you go. My Ruin said you could always use your PS4 console. My PS4 console hasn't been hooked up for like a year and a half. It's currently in storage in the closet. It's one of the things that I'm probably going to pull out during my DSP's Closet event this Saturday, which we'll talk about in a moment. But yeah, it's not even hooked up and working. So anyway, let's see. I'm gonna listen for your feedback today. If anyone has any feedback that it runs better on Xbox over PlayStation, let me know. If not, then I'm probably just gonna play the PlayStation version that I already own. Just re-download it on PS5 and go from there. Okay. Okay. So that's tomorrow's main stream. We're starting up Batman Arkham Asylum Remastered. Okay.
Oh my god.
Tomorrow night, we're doing Fable Anniversary. You might say, oh, Fable's at night now? Yes. Fable now is going to become a nighttime stream. It up to this point has been a daytime stream, and I think we're about 12 hours into the game, roughly like 11 or 12 hours, give or take. 11 hours. I just checked. We're formally 11 hours into the game. Well, being that we're 2/3 into the story, we're probably going to beat this game roughly around maybe 16 hours-ish. So I figure making a night stream now, play it as a night stream, and we'll probably beat it within a week or two, and that's perfectly fine. Okay? So there you go. And then on Wednesday, this is the one that you will determine. And what I mean by that is, on Wednesday, it's you guys who are going to pick what I stream on Wednesday. It's my last streaming day of the week, and I'm going to do a poll. And the poll options are going to be as follows. Option number 1, Final Fantasy VII and Multiverses. Option number 2, Final Fantasy VII and Fable Anniversary.
Oh my god.
Option number 3, Batman Arkham Asylum Remastered and
None of them.
Option number 4, Batman Arkham Asylum Remastered and Fable Anniversary.
None of them.
Okay, those will be your 4 options. So you guys will be able to vote. I want the combination of stuff that
I'd
you
rather
see.
not tune in.
Where will that poll be? Right here on the main channel page of DSP Gaming under the community tab. It's not there yet. Basically, I'm going to put it up tomorrow. Probably I'll do it tomorrow on the Level 1 podcast. Okay? So
Girls,
we'll see what you guys vote for. Whatever ends up
you
winning
know how to
the vote, that's
make
what we're going to play on Wednesday.
hard-boiled
And that's
eggs?
what we'll
Grandma
determine what
show
happens
you?
as well. Okay?
you want to make some hard-boiled eggs?
Now, this weekend is the special event.
Well, how
that
many
we've all been waiting
did
for,
Grandpa
ladies
buy?
and gentlemen, what's in DFB's closet?
So,
On
you
Saturday,
like
we're doing
hard-boiled
marathon
eggs
style
or no?
stream. During the day,
you know,
I will be checking out what is in my closet, and as an addendum to that, something to add on, there's other things in the office I can check out as well. I have an ottoman here full of joysticks and other
like
peripherals,
scrambled.
and I also have a few storage bins on the opposite side of my office as well, that we can go through all this stuff, and we can determine what's useful, what's not, what can I put into my setup,
Sunny side up
stream,
too hard.
what can I
Scrambled
actually use
easy.
actively as equipment for
Hard-boiled
streaming the
easy.
gameplay, what stuff that I can maybe trade in for credit somewhere, make a few bucks, maybe get a new controller out of it or something, or what's junk that I don't need anymore and I can just throw it the hell out, okay? So, this is going to be exciting because it's something I've never done before, and what's hilarious is that every time someone says, oh, this is going to be boring, I pull something out of the closet.
It will be
that has a
boring.
whole story attached to it.
There's
And I'm like,
only boring.
I'm like, yeah, that's going to be the whole day, us chilling, and me basically looking at stuff and telling stories about each thing, and you're going to see stuff you've never seen before in there, or a lot of the stuff in there you haven't seen in a decade. Seriously, there's shit in there that maybe I revealed when I lived in Connecticut, and now it's, 10 years later,
Yeah.
it's the first time I'm actually talking about it again, okay?
You making your
Now-
fucking hard-boiled egg.
In addition to that, I've been telling you guys we're going to do an episode of Feasting with the King. We're going to do a variation of that. Allow me to explain. Up to this point, Jasper, why are you licking my toe? He's licking my big toe. Up until this point, when I've done Feasting with the King, which now, if you guys aren't aware, Feasting with the King has now existed for a year. Yeah, I started doing it around last summer. That's when we came up with the idea. And here we are a full year later, and it's still going strong. You guys really like Feasting with the King, okay? So, here's what we're going to do. Up to this point, when I've done Feasting with the King, the premise of the show has been I try something new or something that's not a common thing that I would eat, and I try it out with you guys live on stream for like a whole meal, like multiple courses, trying out various things. And not to say that I haven't ever eaten these cuisines before, but in a lot of cases, I try stuff I've never had. For example, when I ordered Indian food, I got goat curry, which I never had before. When I ordered Mexican food, I got that pepper, what was it called? A tomatillo or something like that, a stuffed Latin breaded pepper. I'd never eaten that before either. So basically, every time I order food, I try something completely different as a taste test, essentially, okay? On this special event, okay, for this Saturday, for the first time ever, all right, I am not going to be doing a new cuisine at all. In fact, this Saturday's episode is a return to your favorites episode. All right, we're going to pick 3 of the cuisines that we like the most. All right, and basically make a poll for it, and you guys are going to pick out of those 3 for me to order from again, and this time get different stuff. So I can tell you right now, 2 of them that I wish to return to. Option number 1, Indian food, and option number 2, Mexican food. Those are going to be 2 options on the table for Feasting with the King this Saturday. I know I've done both of those before, but if we do them again, I'll order different stuff from the first time around for variety purposes, okay? Now, what will the third be? I don't know. We got to think about it. I'm trying to think, like, what, out of all the ones that I've done, what are the ones that you guys have liked the most? I mean, we've done a lot in the last year. I guess what we'd have to do is go through the history of the show to see actually which ones I've done. Let me see here. Oh, I don't have that on the related channels anymore, do I? Oh, here it is. I want to see what episodes I've done. So, okay, so I did. Indian was the very first one I ever did, and that was over a year ago. Then we did Sonic Drive-In. Oh, that was really successful. If you remember the Sonic Drive-In one, Excuse me. The chili cheese coney dog was great, and the tater tots were all right, and then the fucking burger was terrible. It was atrociously bad. What was this one? Mediterranean food. Now that one I did in October. That was one of my favorites. Mediterranean food. I ended up getting the falafel and all of that. That was outstanding. Okay. Then in December I did Filipino food, and that did not go so well. Filipino food was actually one of the ones that was one of my least favorites. I didn't really enjoy much at all, besides maybe the noodles. But everything else I tried, I did not like at all. Let me see here if I can find the other clip in the rest of the playlist. So I've done many more episodes this year now. Let's see. Here it is. So this year, 2022, we did Mexican food in February. We did Hawaiian barbecue in April. That was actually for my birthday. We did Thai cuisine in May, and that didn't go so well. And then we did Vietnamese food in June, and that didn't go so well. And then we did the American barbecue just a couple weeks ago, and that one was really, really good. Okay. Now we just did American barbecue, so we're not doing that again. All right. So how about this? Indian food, Mexican food, Hawaiian barbecue. Here we go. Okay.
Yeah, what about Chinese food?
And I think that's what we should do.
Abigail has a good point.
Those are the three big ones that were the best ones. So it's kind of like a redo of the favorite ones. Guys, you're not listening. People, I swear to God, people don't fucking listen. What about this new cuisine? What about that new cuisine? I literally just announced this episode of Feasting with the King is a redo episode. We're not doing new cuisines. We can do new cuisines on the next episode. So you sitting here spamming my chat, you should do soul food, you should do this, Jamaican food, you should do that. You're just fucking, it's idiotic.
Why am I
Why are you
toxic?
acting like this? I don't know why people do this. Like they're purposely trying to piss me off. Why am I doing the same stuff and not new? There's two reasons. I'll tell you the reason. Reason number one is because we just hit the Tier 2 members goal for the month of July. That means we have locked into doing another React event. And as I've already announced, that React event will likely be around the middle of August. During that React event, that is when we will do a new episode of Feasting with the King featuring a new type of cuisine. All right? But for this time, since we're basically doing 2 in 1 month, I figure one can be like a best of episode, and then another can be a new cuisine episode. All right? The other thing is, my wife's going to be home on Saturday. All right? And honestly, sometimes when we do these, we order food and we end up not liking. I'd like us to actually order a meal that we enjoy. Okay? For once, I want to ensure that we're actually going to really like it. Rather than me spending a bunch of money on a meal and neither of us really like it. And we know that we order either Indian food, Mexican food, or the Hawaiian barbecue, we're going to like it. We've had it and we really enjoy that food. Okay? So there you go. So please stop spamming the chat saying, oh, do this food, do this food. You can do that in like 2-3 weeks. When we do the next React event, then I'm open to suggestions. This Saturday we're doing something different. Best of episode of Feasting with the King. Okay? Okay. Thumbs up. There you go. So, when will we start to vote on that? Basically, when I get back from break, which is Friday. So you guys will have 1 day to vote on the cuisine for Saturday. It'll either be Mexican, Indian, or Hawaiian barbecue, and you will vote, and it'll determine what we're going to do on Saturday for food. Okay? So that's coming up on Friday. Keep your eyes and your peeled. I'll let you know when that is live so you can vote. Fair enough? Okay. So this is the special event for Saturday. What's in DSP's closet? A day-long chill event. Checking out the crap in my office here. Seeing what I'm keeping, what I'm not, what's useful, what's not. All right? And going from there. Now, some people would ask, when's the next game coming out, the new game? You're not going to like the answer. The next new game coming out that's anything of any real like interest or importance, to me anyway, is called 2 Point Campus. It's from the makers of 2 Point Hospital, and it comes out on August 9th. It's free on Game Pass, so I'll probably be checking it out. But since there's really nothing going on in August, all the way until August 23rd, On August 23rd, we got the new Saints Row. We got the game called Midnight Fight Express, which is the game made by one person. It's a combat game that's going to be on Game Pass. August 26th, we got Pac-Man World Repack, which is the re-release of Pac-Man World for a modern audience. And then on August 30th, we got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga Collection, as well as Destroy All Humans 2 Remake. Okay? And as I told you, one of the things that I'd like to plan out is a fun Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles pizza party to celebrate the release of that collection, and a day when we basically play out a variety of those Ninja Turtles games while I have some pizza with all of you, and we kind of celebrate the whole Ninja Turtles deal. All right? So that's going to be coming up in late August. Also in mid-August, like I said, my next React event, and it's going to be either reacting to the original This Is How You Don't Play video, or a documentary from Frederick Knutson's Down the Rabbit Hole series, or a documentary from June the King. So good stuff coming up. However, pretty much next to no new releases in August. So stuff doesn't really pick up with new releases for a while. Even September at this point is kind of bare bones. What I likely will do is reassess the game release schedule soon and go through it, because we're at a situation where I might have not updated the schedule in a couple of months, and there might be more releases that I'm not aware of. So I want to definitely look at that and make sure I'm not missing out on anything. Okay? Okay. Now, before we get into game news, I have an update regarding my status of getting a new PC. As you know, the entirety of last week's Level 1 podcasts, all right, we went through the components, the ideal components that I would want if I were to get a brand new PC to replace my current one and upgrade my setup in order to basically do capture and streaming, okay? Because right now my PC, by the way, last night I had another corrupted video. Yes, it was part 9 of Fable, corrupted. Luckily, I was able to, on the fly, find a way to export that video portion from the live stream, so it wasn't really an issue. But at the same time, if these videos are corrupting now every 2 weeks or so, it's going to keep happening, right? My PC is starting to die. It's not a good sign. I need to basically get a new one. So, we talked about the ideal state components, the best processor, the graphics card, the hard drives, the capture device, everything I would want if it was ideal, and basically I wasn't really caring about budget or whatever, all right? And we went through that, right? So there you go. So since then, basically what's happened is, you know, I've been talking with this person who wants to help me to finance this PC, and we went online and we went to one of those websites where you can pick and choose all your components, all right? If I were to get all the components that we came to a conclusion would be the optimal situation, all right, for me to have this PC, it would have been over $2,200 to $2,300, because it's that plus tax and everything else, all right? Basically, that's too expensive, okay? So basically what we're doing right now is we're talking about like what could be realistically downgraded and not have a major effect. So for example, we were talking about either a 3070 or a 3060 Ti graphics card. Do I really need that? The answer is no, okay? Absolutely no, all right? The answer is, Jasper, you're being very silly and demanding of attention this morning. All right, the answer is I could downgrade that because I'm not going to play games on this PC. The whole point of me getting a higher end graphics card like that was supposed to be that I'm basically kind of future-proofing myself to want to play games on it. But now I would say, well, if I'm trying to save a lot of money and not spend $2,400, you could probably cut hundreds of dollars off the price tag by downgrading the graphics card to something more mid-range. You see, hard drive, we had said 1 terabyte. I can likely get away with a 500 gigabyte SSD for the main hard drive of the PC. You see, graphics card, excuse me, not graphics card, capture card. Originally, we were saying get a high-end 4K capture card. Am I going to be capturing in 4K? No, I'm not. I'm not capturing in 4K. Right now, I'm going to be doing 1080p, 60 frames. That's all I care about for now. Maybe years down the line, I'm going to care about 4K. And if that's the case, maybe years down the line, I buy the 4K capture card for now, I don't really need it. So 1080p capture card, right? RAM. Again, a lot of people were even saying, why do you need 32 gigs? Nothing uses 32 gigs right now. 16 gigs is the standard for RAM. You see, so basically by taking the things that we kind of went a little overboard on, saying if you have unlimited budget, ideal state, what would you want, right? We could basically kind of downgrade a little bit and say, okay, what's more reasonable price-wise, and what realistically am I going to be using right now all the time that's going to improve my content versus what was some of the stuff that we were talking about that would be kind of excessive, but would be nice to have, right? So, Jasper, can you not put your tail in my mouth, please? Please? Thank God we're playing Final Fantasy today. Imagine if I was playing an action-based game and he's going to be like this. He's going to be so attention-demanding today. He's being a nut today. All right. So anyway, here we go. So basically, what we're looking at doing now is realistically, all right, how can I still get a PC but not spend $2,400? You know, can I knock $500 to $750 or more off the price tag? And the answer is probably yes. Okay, probably yes. All right, Jasper, it's time for you to get down. Okay. So I'm going to be working with this person to see what we can do realistically. The thing is, the ideal thing would be get a pre-built. If you get a pre-built, they're cheaper usually. The problem is with pre-built, there's almost always something missing. Like, oh my God, it's a perfect pre-built. Look, it's like $1,350, but there's no capture device. Now I have to buy a capture device, install it myself, get it working, which I could do, but that's not really what I want to do. I want this to show up, and then I can immediately just get it going. You know, plug it in, get everything installed, start using it. Now, oh, it's here, but then I got to open the PC, which voids the warranty immediately, install things, install drivers. Oops, now it's not working. Now I got to fuck with it. I don't want to do that. I want to just have it show up, plug it in, it works. Okay? And again, the thing is, some of the things I know we can go back on, like the RAM.
In the box again?
I can get 16 gigs now, and then a few years down the line, if I feel like, okay, I really need 32, I can just buy the RAM and install it. The RAM is easy as shit to install.
So you want to get stuck in the
RAM
box?
has always been easy as shit to install.
Right.
You don't even need drive it nothing for it. You just plug the fuck in and it works. So that I'm not really worried about. You see, that's something very easy. So anyway, I'll let you guys know when we have more information about this. Right now, it's being worked on behind the scenes. Obviously, something that I would like to do, you know, in the next maybe month, because once new releases start hitting, say late September, early October, that's when it gets crazy, and it's going to be pretty hard to be changing my whole setup in the midst of that. Right now, we're kind of in the middle of summer dead time, so this would probably be a really good time to do it. But it has to be worked out. You know, this is someone who is willing to help dramatically, all right, and that's really nice of them to want to do that. But at the same time, it has to be within means, it has to be reasonable, and I'm not asking them to go crazy. You know, I don't think they were looking to spend $2,000 to $2,500. They were probably looking to spend, you know, $1,000 maybe $1,500 and try to get like a pre-built or something that we can configure that's reasonable price. And I understand that. So that's the other thing too. You look at you look at one of these sites where you customize your parts. You're like, okay, it came out to $2,200. No, it didn't. It came out to $2,200 plus tax. Tax is expensive, so you're talking, so really it's a $2,500 PC. There's a lot of factors here, you see.
Calm down.
Anyway, more information coming. I'll let you guys know when we get it. And by the way, then once I get a new PC and we get everything set up working, then we can discuss financing a new camera and stuff like that. Because that would be like step 2. Step 1 is the PC, and then working with the setup and everything there. And then step 2 would be the camera. Okay. And by the way, one final thing, because I'm tired of idiots saying this dumb shit. No, the PC that ReviewTech USA offers you would not be as good as what we're buying. We're buying all modern components, not something that's 5 years outdated. I mean, yeah, apparently I don't even know what the fuck a Threadripper is, but it wouldn't have been as good as what we're looking to do here. So you guys, oh, you should have just took the PC from Rich. All right, we already explained last week why that was a bad idea. Drama on the internet. I don't know why Rich talked about it publicly to begin with, because all it did was start drama. All right, and it was an outdated PC. What if I get it and then it ends up being, you know, an issue? So it's incredibly stupid.
You're not calm down.
No, it's already, you know, we already talked about it.
You're not calm down.
The only case that I would accept that PC is if I was between a rock and a hard place and I had no other options. Like this PC was dying, smoking on its last legs. I needed something immediately, and I couldn't just order a PC right away, and that was my only option. Then I would do it. But no, I'm not jumping into fucking drama head first. I'm just not doing it. Okay? Okay. I don't believe that. Bookworm is just the possibility of sabotage. No, I don't believe that there's a possibility of sabotage. That I don't believe. Okay. I think that it's a situation where he wanted to get rid of it, right? He did. He wanted to get rid of the PC, which I understand. And he thought, oh, here's another streamer who I like or whatever, who says he needs a new PC. I'll offer it. But I'm in a situation where I'd rather get something for myself. You know what I mean? I'd rather have that, you know, rather than
get in the box.
She knows better now, isn't that right? Gift, right? Now there's like obligation there because the guy was nice to me and gifted a PC to me and creates internet drama. If Rich had not said anything publicly about it, then I probably would have been a lot more considerate. The fact that he was talking about it publicly on his streams, that's not cool. And I think that just created more problems. So. Okay. All right. Let us now move out of this segment and move into game news. We have several game news stories to talk about today. Okay? We've been talking about multiverses. Okay? Which is now in open beta, although it really isn't in open beta till tomorrow. You were able to play multiverses. You were able to play multiverses if you had a code from watching another streamer or getting an exclusive. Like I have a code because a fan of mine watched another streamer, got codes from there, I think, and then sent me a code. As of tomorrow, it's open beta. But anyway, the reason we're talking about this is the multiverses beta that just has been taking place this last week hit a peak number of concurrent players on Steam. So we're talking just the PC version. It is currently the most popular fighting game ever on PC. That includes Tekken, that includes Street Fighter, that includes any game that's ever had PC.
The markers picked up.
This game is more popular than those games. Now you might say, why? Those games weren't free. Those games you had to play. This game, yeah, like yesterday they had, I want to say between 50 and 60,000 concurrent players on Steam. And then factor in the fact that there was also people playing it on Xbox consoles and PlayStation consoles. There's a shit ton of people playing multiverses right now, okay? Because it's free. And this week as well, since it's going open beta tomorrow, that number might exponentially grow, in which case it may be the most played fighting game of all time right away. Before, you know, it's not even launched yet. It doesn't even have ranked matches. It doesn't have all the features yet. And it might actually be the most popular fighting game of all time. Doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean people are spending money on it, you see. But, yeah, exactly. Free is good. Free sells. And, you know, getting people to play it is a good way to get people to maybe invest in it. So perhaps this free-to-play business model is smart. I don't know if I would have bought it, but certainly me playing the beta, I've enjoyed it, and now I want to play more, you see? So maybe it was a good move. I guess we have to hear more information about it as this week progresses. I'd like to hear, in 2 weeks, I'd like to hear sales numbers of not necessarily how many copies sold, because they don't sell, but how many people spent money on the game. How many people bought the Gleamium currency? How many people bought the Founders Pack that unlocks all the characters without having to grind, right? Because I get the feeling that will actually happen, that people are going to spend money on it. Okay. Okay. The other story, well, we have 4 stories today. The next story, Halo Infinite. Anyone remember that game? I vaguely remember it, which is a shame because Halo Infinite was the #1 FPS shooter last year and early this year. And then what happened? The game devs dropped the ball. The game devs, 343 Industries, didn't update it enough, didn't add enough content, didn't rebalance it enough per people's requests. When they finally did do a season pass, it was pathetic. It was only 1 to 2 new maps, one mode that no one liked. That no one likes that battle royale mode. Like literally, no one likes it. Everyone complains that it sucks ass, like just like I did. Everyone just thinks it's a piece of shit. And essentially, the community kind of gave up on the game. There was people who were like content creators for Halo Infinite. They gave up and moved on because there's really nothing to create, nothing to talk about. It's a shame. So here we are. You're right. Why am I talking about Halo Infinite now? Well, they're finally finishing up the co-op campaign. Keep in mind, this game's been out for 8 months, 9 months, and they're finally finishing up the co-op campaign, which is usually a launch feature of Halo. But they made an announcement that people are like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Listen to this. Halo Infinite's co-op campaign will not have any matchmaking whatsoever. 0. They are not writing any matchmaking for it. I guess that's too hard. So if you want to play Halo Infinite campaign with someone, you have to basically invite them from your friends list. That's it. If you don't have a friend who wants to play Halo Infinite with you, you can't play the game co-op. It's not possible. And when people countered this and said, well, this doesn't sound right for a modern game, they said, oh, well, didn't you hear? Discord just launched on Xbox. So use Discord. Go to a Halo server on Discord and talk to random fans and figure out a way to get them on your friends list and get them to in your game that way. Have you ever heard, now seriously, have you ever heard of a game developer who said, well, we can't be bothered by putting in like a basic feature, so just use someone else's program to do it? Right? Like what? Okay. This would be like saying you're going to play Street Fighter. Street Fighter 6 comes out, but they forgot to put in a button mapping feature in the game. So people contacted Capcom and said, well, how are we supposed to play the game? I can't map the buttons on my joystick. And Capcom said, well, then buy a joystick that has the ability to map buttons manually programmed into the joystick to play the game the way you want. Because we can't be bothered by putting button mapping into our game. Like, what? And they're like, wow, oh, okay. So, I don't know. People on the internet are like, wow, this is like just another nail in the coffin of this game that in 1 year's time, it has literally buried itself over and over. And it's just like, will anyone even remember this game at this point? Which is sad and pathetic because it was so good. It was so good at launch. Whatever. It's been announced. Well, not announced, but it's rumored that EA is currently designing a single-player, open-world RPG, Black Panther from Marvel Comics. Okay? The game will begin with the death of the original Black Panther, and the purpose of the game is to find a replacement. You are the replacement. You play as the character that now becomes the new Black Panther. And so you basically, through this RPG, are leveling up, getting new abilities, learning how to be the Black Panther superhero. And the rumor is that the reason that this game's being made is because Jedi Fallen Order a few years ago was a big success for EA, and EA was convinced by that game that, gee, maybe we don't need to make absolutely terrible online multiplayer games 24/7. We can actually have some confidence that if we make some single-player games that are good, people will buy them because Jedi Fallen Order sold really well. So there you have it. I mean, if this is true, it's a rumor. If this is true, that sounds good to me. Imagine a game where you're an up-and-coming superhero, you're learning ability, you're teaming up with other Marvel heroes, you're doing missions all around the globe, and leveling up your character and getting new abilities. That could be pretty fun. I'm not saying it's turn-based, but probably an action-based RPG. I think that could work out, especially, with the new Black Panther movie coming out soon. And if this game comes out like within the next year or two, I think it could do really, really well. So I guess we'll see. But it sounds like a good idea. But again, it's a rumor. It's not been confirmed. It's just a rumor going on right now. Okay. All right. And then lastly, anyone remember that there is a Gollum video game in development? Now, when I say Gollum, I don't mean Golem, like the giant stone monolith creature that fights you in RPGs. I mean Gollum, the character from Lord of the Rings that used to be a hobbit-like creature, but when it had an encounter with the One Ring, it became obsessed with it, killed his best friend, and then became deformed and became a really weird creature that is a star, or not a star, but one of the main characters of not only the Hobbit book, but also the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy. So Gollum is going to get his own game. And it's been in development for several years. We haven't really heard many updates about it. It was originally supposed to come out around this fall. I think they were saying like the estimate window was September-ish. But we hadn't heard anything about it in so long. Everyone's like, how could it possibly be coming out in September when we don't even know anything about this game? So it finally today officially got delayed. The game developers came out and said, we decided to delay it. It's for the best. We need to give it more time. Which is fine. But they basically delayed it indefinitely. And what I mean by that is they basically said, we don't know when it's coming out anymore. Like it was supposed to come out in the fall, probably September, but we're delaying it indefinitely. They said a few months, but if it really was a few months delay, why wouldn't they say, oh, well, it'll come out by the end of this year? They're not guaranteeing that. So I guess what it is they're kind of going back to the drawing board with certain things, or maybe they want to retool certain things, and they don't know how long that's going to take, so they don't want to promise. If it comes out in early 2023, that's okay. Typically, early in the year is a decent time to release new games anyway, so I'd be okay with like a January release. It would give us something to do. Usually January is a dead month, but I guess we'll see. But it's not disheartening because I don't think anyone was too hyped for it, being that we didn't get too much hype around it. But I'm interested in it. I like Lord of the Rings, so yeah, the game has been delayed and we don't know when it's coming out now. There you go. Ooh, excuse me. Okay, that's the news stories for today. Let's do some shout outs, shall we? So on the YouTube side of things, I actually just got a super chat from Roy Barnes, who asked, will I be playing the third person mode and do a new playthrough with that setting of Resident Evil 8? I just finished As Dusk Falls and some things are unrealistic. So there's two completely different statements there. The first question is about Resident Evil 8. No, I'm not replaying original Resident Evil 8. Okay. I'm going to play the DLC expansion for it, which is third person, starring, I forget the daughter's name, his daughter grown up. I'm going to play that. I am going to try out, I think Mercenaries mode's releasing. Isn't there another one like Reavers? Whatever those modes are, that's what I'm going to be playing October 28th. Okay, that's what I'm doing. I'm not going back and completely replaying Resident Evil 8 from the beginning in third person. There's no reason to, especially because I did basically a completionist run. I found all the secret treasures and everything in the game. So there's no reason to go back and do that. I'm not doing that. But I will do the new content. Okay? As for your second statement, I agree with you that As Dusk Falls starts off way more plausible and interesting and realistic. And the further into the game you get, the more unrealistic it gets. Inexplicable things happening that no one can really justify. Basically, it's bad writing. So that's what I mean. Like when I actually started off, playing As Dusk Falls, I thought it was a great game. By the time I finished it, I thought it was just okay. It is what it is, I guess. Okay, on the tips side of stuff, our first tip today is an anonymous tipper who tipped me $1.50. Let's get them on the leaderboard. And they said the following. To keep it real, if you were actually losing a ton and raging and getting pretty salty when playing multiverses, those calling it boring would probably be saying that it was a fun stream. And you're right. Because sadly, I hate to say it, I have what you could categorize as hate watchers. There are people who want to see me play multiplayer games just solely on the fact that if I lose constantly and I rage, they get entertainment factor out of that. Okay? I'm well aware that that exists, all right? But as you've seen, that alone would not even support certain streams. You know what I mean? Like, I've had games where that was the case, and then they didn't really get much support at all. And what it is because people are watching to see me rage, and they get a good laugh, right, out of seeing me rage. But those aren't positive supporters. Those aren't people who are gonna overall support the content. They're just there to have a laugh at my expense, right? So, I hear you, and I totally understand what you're saying there. In my opinion, okay, I like multiverses. I'm not great at it, but I like it. I'm getting better at it. I would like to keep playing it. I wish I could find more positive viewers. I just will have to see what happens. Okay, James to be $1.50 said, "Go play Smash Brothers." Now that was what we were talking about, Smash Brothers. There you go. This is funny. Trademark attorney tips me $1.50 and says, "Hope this helps. I'm available for a free consultation anytime. Hang in there." There's nothing to hang into. This is the most stupid thing we already had. For multiple days, we talked about the whole nonsense that trolls are trying to do, or at least talk about, in regards to the Level 1 podcast and claiming that there's a trademark. Number one, again, I'll reiterate, there is no one who owns a trademark for Level 1 podcast or the Level 1 podcast doesn't exist. I looked it up on the trademark office. If you look up trademarks, there is no mark for that at all. They're completely full of shit. They're just making it up because they're trying to cause drama where it doesn't exist. If someone were to file for a trademark, they wouldn't be able to file for a trademark that's a podcast like this anyway, because they don't have one. I have the precedent. There is no other podcast of this name going right now. So none of this makes any sense. On top of that, if they filed, it would take them months to a year for it even to go through. It costs a ridiculous amount of money. I know all about it. I've been there, done that. It's the dumbest thing ever. And worst case scenario, and I mean this too, the dumbest thing, the worst case scenario, all right, if some idiot actually filed for a trademark for like the Level 1 podcast or Level 1 podcast and got the trademark, and even in the ridiculous situation where they then hired an attorney to serve me a formal cease and desist, all right, all I would have to do is change the name of the show, and I'd be perfectly fine. I just say, okay, well, as of this date, you hit me with a cease and desist. There was no trademark that exists before. I don't have to change anything I did previously. I just can't use the name moving forward, and I would just change the name and we'd be fine, no problem. It's literally the dumbest, most idiotic situation. There's nothing to be gained by it besides maybe forcing me to change the name of the podcast, which doesn't mean anything. It doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. So anyone talking about
Why are you talking about it?
Literally wasting their time because they think that they know something they don't, or they're just idiots. I mean, let's be face it. The people who don't like me are fucking idiots. They always have been. They always will be. Every day they talk about new bullshit that makes no sense, and everyone just scratch their head. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're a bunch of morons. Okay. Okay. Moving on. 0 Kelvin cup of coffee has tipped me $10 and says, DSP, if you consider it a gaming laptop, it takes up less space. You can connect it to your 4K TV to save money on a monitor, external video capture device. You and Cat get more off-stream views, being able to use it around the house. No, that's incredibly bad idea. All right? A laptop would always be limited to what it can do. It is. It would be incredibly limited with what it could do. I don't want a game on it laptop regardless. All right? I'm looking for a dedicated rig, okay, a dedicated PC to capture and stream from, period. I don't care about gaming. I don't care about moving it around the house or using it for anything else. The whole point is it's a dedicated thing to be using right here. It's you know, that's what it's for. Laptops are actually more expensive than desktops. If you were to try to get a high-end laptop to do the same thing that the desktop would do, it would cost more money because they're more compact. And like you said, I'd have to get all these external devices. I'd have to get a bunch of external hard drives, external capture cards. The fucking thing, there would be no point to having it because by the time I'm done to capture and stream from the thing, I'd have 400 peripherals sticking out of the sides of it. It would look like it's on fucking life support at a hospital with a million things coming out. It would be like the most unwieldy setup for there's no point. There's literally no point. The only people who would really need something like that, all right, would be, I would say, would be to, for example, be able to do it on mobily. Like, let's say you're someone who goes to tournaments and live streams tournaments. Hello, Jasper. They live stream tournaments all over the place. Like, for example, like the Team Spooky, right? Spooky goes from tournament to tournament streaming Street Fighter. He needs a mobile setup to do what he does. He can't lug around a giant, 50-pound fucking desktop with him. He needs a laptop with a bunch of peripherals to do it. Then I can understand doing it, okay? Then I could understand. Okay. Okay. So, no, I'm not getting a laptop, but thanks for the suggestion. Anonymous tipped $1.50 and says, what has been your biggest surprise of 2022? What has been your biggest disappointment of 2022? Biggest surprise is how good Stray was. I would say before then it would have been Sifu. Because Sifu actually blew me away, and I had zero expectations for Sifu, and ended up being really good. But I would definitely say, Stray being as good as it is, actually making me feel, and I cried at the end of the playthrough because it was so unique. That's my biggest shocking, amazing game here. Biggest disappointment. There's been a lot of disappointments this year so far.
Champions.
If I just look at
Champions on the screen
for the year, okay, this is a good tasting of what I played in this year. All right, and if I scroll down here, okay, and I got to get to like the beginning of the year of what I've actually played that were new releases or whatever. Okay, so let's see. Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga. It was okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad, right? Trek to Yomi. Nah. It was just kind of okay. King of Fighters 15 was very disappointing for me, I would say. Because the meta is terrible. The actual competitive gameplay of it is trash. It's a fun game for a week, not even. And then it becomes trash when you try to play it competitively. Wow, this game sucks. All right. Pokemon Legends Arceus. That disappointed me because there's a situation where the game had massive potential, but the game felt more like a test run for the next Pokemon game coming out later this year than its own game. Once you get through the first region, you've essentially seen all the game has to offer. It's just going to be different climates and Pokemon or whatever. It just wasn't that good at all, I felt. Plus, the graphics were terrible. The graphics were absolutely terrible. Ghostwire Tokyo was all right. Let me put it this way. Was there any one game that ultimately, shockingly was bad this year that I didn't think would be the case? No. But there's a lot of games that had potential to be good, and they were just kind of okay or meh, and that's not good. It's like what I was just saying when I finished up Stray, is that game I had no real expectations for. I didn't know what it was going to be. I was blown away. It's one of my favorite games of the last 10 years. It's one of the most original games I've ever played. Okay? Wow, you have another game. Oh, this sounds like it's going to be good. You start playing it, you're like, you're just going through the motions. It's exactly what you expected or less. It's repetitive. It's not innovative. It doesn't feel original. It doesn't feel like they put a lot of effort outside of maybe sheer number, it's quality over quantity. There you go. I don't think a lot of games these days are quality over quantity, sadly. If you're wondering what that noise is, that's Jacker running through the hallway going crazy right now. He has the zoomies. Okay. Anso Kamaru, to me $1.50, says it's so frustrating when a game you're looking forward to isn't being pushed or marketed by the publishers. Digimon Survive comes out in only 4 days, but it can't even be pre-ordered yet. Tons of people are saying that it'll be dead on arrival because Bandai Namco isn't marketing it at all. I'm not even aware that it exists. Really? I didn't even know it existed. So I have to agree with you there that there are some games, I guess what it is these publishers just don't have much faith in them, which sucks. And now imagine that you're a fan of that franchise, right? But the franchise doesn't get any attention and the new game comes out and no one knows about it. And only hardcore fans play it because they didn't market it. You can't even pre-order it. Yeah, that's pretty disheartening. I agree with you there, Anso Kamaru. Okay. I think there's another super chat to shout out. Ed Shooter, what's going on, man? Oh, wait a minute. Roy Barnes has done a second follow-up super chat to this talk about As Dusk Falls. He says, the girl running away and ruining your life was ridiculous. She made it seem like her life was so difficult, and then she was really a brat. I completely agree with you. 100%. X Shooter did a super chat and said, hello, Phil, what's going on? What's up, X Shooter? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing well. And I appreciate the super chat. Okay. Real quick, guys, we don't have a lot of time left, but if anyone would like to do a little bit of
Q&A!
Greg took me $1.50. He says, if I could, I would rub your feet. I love you, Phil. That's disgusting. I don't want anyone touching my feet. My feet are gross. My feet are like disgusting hobbit feet, and I've got giant crusty corns and all kinds of growths all over my feet. So I don't want anyone touching my feet. You actually might get like an infection or gangrenous fungus growing all over your body if you touch my foot. So I don't recommend that you come anywhere near my feet. Okay. Okay. That's just how I'm going to shut down weird stuff from now on. All right. Does anyone have any Q&A stuff? Any quick questions to ask me? Please tag me in the chat. We'll do just a couple minutes of Q&A before we end, and we get started with Final Fantasy VII. Okay. Jasper has completely tired himself out, and he's pooped, and he's laying on my floor now. He ran back and forth across the hallway for 5-10 minutes. Now he's zonked. He's on the floor. It's funny. Ultra chill glass of Java brew tipped me $10 and said, a no-go to a gaming laptop. That sucks. I will sell my Alienware laptop I have as a 3070 and a 1 terabyte SSD, 16 gigs of RAM, and an i5 CPU. I don't use it. I'm ordering a 4070 replacement. Any plan for a meet and greet ever? I'd love to shake your hand. I still wouldn't want that laptop. That laptop doesn't have a capture device. That laptop doesn't have a storage hard drive, right? Let's see what else it does. I'm trying to think, like, what else? That laptop would likely overheat. If I were trying to capture and stream from it, it would probably overheat. So no, and it's an Alienware. On top of that, I don't want an Alienware. I've owned 2 Alienware laptops in my life. They both suck. So I don't want an Alienware laptop either. As for a meet and greet, I have no plans on anything like that right now. It's actually funny because just a couple months ago, someone said, Phil, now that things are finally calming down with COVID, would you maybe consider going to a gaming convention? And I did a poll on the fly one night on my Twitter. And I said, would you guys be interested in me attending an event again? It's been years and years since I've been to one. And if I attended, what capacity would you like me to attend? Would you like me to, A, just be a normal attendee that goes, and then if you happen to run into me, say hello and get an autograph or a picture? B, attempt to have a table and a panel at the event where I could talk about being a YouTuber and do all kinds of answering of questions and stuff as a content creator on the internet? Or C, don't go at all, it's not worth it. The people who voted overwhelmingly said A, just go as a normal attendee, enjoy yourself, vlog it.
Oh
and if you
my
have
God.
recognize you who are fans, be nice to them, take pictures or whatever, but that's about it. So I was like, oh, maybe I would consider it. And then what happened? COVID happened. COVID is happening again. Right now, it seems like there's another strand of COVID that everyone's catching. I'm like, well, guess what? I'm not doing it. I'm not fucking traveling and going to any conventions and taking any chances, man. This is not happening. It seems like we are years out from being safe. It's pretty ridiculous.
Years out. You're years out from being fucking dumb.
Okay.
Long
Cycle
since
says if someone
past.
donated The Last of Us 1 remake, would I play it? I mean, I really like The Last of Us 1. I think The Last of Us 1 is an insanely good game. I loved it when it was new. I played it again a year later on PS4 as a remake. I mean, if someone donated it, sure. Am I buying it? Fuck no. There's no way I'm paying $70 to play the same game. I'm not stupid. There's no way.
You are
support
stupid.
That practice. Okay. James, as I already stated on this very pre-stream, there's no unlimited budget to get a new PC for me. No, I'm not getting an M2 hard
Unlimited
drive
budget.
in my new PC. I don't have a $5,000 budget to get the high end everything. All right. Okay.
Touch your face more.
Okay.
Your face hasn't been touched in about 5 seconds. You need to touch your face. That way we know you're telling the truth.
Anything else? Anything else?
Narc ego injury.
Interesting questions. I'm basically getting a bunch of dumb shit, troll shit.
Narc ego injury.
Excuse me. Ooh.
What about the Phil? The phone, Phil. The phone. The phone.
Why do I hate Jamaican food? I don't. I've had jerk chicken before. I thought it was really good. I think jerk chicken is a really unique preparation for chicken that I love. I've only had it. Actually, I might have only had it once. Real jerk chicken. Because there's a Caribbean restaurant that does it, and I had it. I really liked it. Actually, now I remember. It was right before COVID. That was back when my wife and I used to go out once a week and eat out once a week, and we would go to restaurants in person. That was one of the last places we went before COVID shut everything down, and we got jerk chicken and really liked it. Yeah. The Shin Black, there is no online play in the fighter's history. All the games in Nintendo Switch Online, they don't have online play. It's just offline play. Yeah. Real Shroud, no problem. I hope you had a good birthday yesterday.
Narc ego injured. Fat
All right,
man
guys.
needs
Well,
food.
I guess that's a wrap, as they say. Oh.
Phil needs gin. Badly.
Stretch. Big stretch. Ooh. Okay. So that's a wrap. All right. I hope that you guys enjoyed the show. Thanks for chilling. Thanks for engaging. Thank you for the support. Until tomorrow. All right. We'll do it all again. Thank you all. Peace out. Okay. All right, guys, let's swap over here and get ready for Final Fantasy VII. I am going to take a brief break to use the restroom, but we'll get started shortly. I know what's going to happen. Jasper's going to jump in my chair when I'm in the bathroom. I just know it. He's sitting on the floor right now, and as soon as I move, he's going to make move. There we go. I think that fits. Is that about right? That's about right. Yeah. And by the way, I did confirm the most members we've ever had was 634. I looked at it this morning because yesterday someone said, oh, well, it's great that you hit your goals for July, but what's the most members you ever had here? And it was 634 a couple months ago. So, okay. All right. Let's take a brief break for me to use the restroom. When I come back in just a few minutes, it's Final Fantasy VII and the Temple of the Ancients, guys. Thanks. I'll see you in just a few.
All right. Later, niggers.